disaster preparedness for everyone. Are you ready?
Hey, Chipper, how was your first day of school?
I can't believe my teacher assigned a history paper on the first day. We have to write an essay on how understanding the past helps us be ready for the future. I have no idea what I'm going to write about.
Well, that's actually a pretty cool assignment. It even applies to disaster preparedness.
You think everything applies to disaster preparedness?
No, really, it does. If we look back at the past, we can see what hazards are common or possible in our area and what we may need to be ready for again. And we can also see how historical disasters have had wide-reaching effects on many parts of our day-to-day life. In fact, you know that the Mayo Clinic was formed in large part because of the need for better hospitals after the devastating Rochester tornado of 1883?
Gee, I didn't know that. And now lots of people all over the world are helped by them. Maybe this would work. Can you tell me more? Just let me get out my notebook first.
Oh boy, do I have some stories. Here's a couple from your great-grandma. She used to tell them so good you'd swear you were there.
Hey, what happened to the color?
This is way back in 1894. I guess everything looked like this then. There's Great-Grandma Gopher, just arrived in America, getting ready to take the train down from the port of Duluth to meet Great-Grandpa in St. Paul. My grandma Greta Gopher was just a baby.
Wow, that must have been exciting.
Yes, and scary too, but she had no idea how terrifying this train ride would end up for everyone on board. As the train neared Hinckley, the air became dark, and the smell of smoke was everywhere. The moment the train came to a stop, hundreds of people came running and jumped aboard. The town was on fire. People were desperate to escape.
We're going to try to beat the fire to Skunk Lake. So everybody make room now and stay away from the windows.
Seeing that the way forward was blocked by a towering wall of flames rushing towards them, the engineer, James Root, set the train in reverse. The forest on either sides of the track was now ablaze. The train engine and baggage cars caught fire, but still the train raced on. 6 miles up the track, they reached a shallow lake and the train stopped.
Quick, jump into the lake!
The lake and the actions of the brave train crew saved many lives that day. Hinckley and many other towns nearby were destroyed, and over 800 people couldn't escape the flames and died. It was one of the worst wildfire disasters in history, but your grandma and great-grandma survived.
Wow, that's amazing. I didn't know about any of that.
Well, did you know that combined Minnesota and Wisconsin have had the 3 worst wildfires ever? Knowing about the history of fires in our state helps us be better prepared for them. Your great-grandma's experience in that fire made her very aware of disasters, and that lesson has influenced all of her family since then. Grandma Greta grew up being taught to give back to her new community to help it be better prepared. So she became a nurse in 1918. World War I was just coming to a close. Returning soldiers in Kansas came down with a mysterious and dangerous new flu that began to spread across the country.
Do they have to spin like that? It makes me dizzy.
Yeah, it's tradition. 500 million people worldwide were infected. 25% of the U.S. population was sick at some point in the outbreak. Temporary hospitals opened to care for the overflow of patients. Grandma worked in one of those alternate care sites here. Even though Minnesota was spared the worst of the outbreak, the flu still killed 12,000 people here. Over 7,000 in 1 month alone.
Gosh, I didn't know the flu could get that bad.
It's very rare. But yes, sometimes a virus can get that bad. I always remember Grandma making sure that we wash our hands and covered our coughs and sneezes properly because she knew how bad it could get firsthand. But even with Grandma's teaching, my mom, your grandma, didn't get interested in disaster volunteering until after she went through one herself. Back in 1965, when I was just a little gopher, we lived in Mounds View. We had just finished dinner, and Mom and I settled in to watch some TV in the basement.
We interrupt this program with a weather advisory. The U.S. Weather Bureau.
Hey, Pa. Better get down here. The Weather Bureau says there's a tornado.
With large hail. Local
Let me just take a look and see.
There's no time. Just get down here. I'm scared. It's okay, Junior. We're here together and this is the safest part of the house. You just sit with me away from the window and the outside walls. It'll be gone soon.
Charlie Boone here in the afternoon with the aftermath of the big storm.
It's okay. We're all okay.
I think we got some damage upstairs. But look, power's back.
We should check our place and then see if the neighbors are okay. Then maybe we can find some way to help others.
She was so sad when she found Great-Grandma's piano in the upstairs bathroom. Ma remembered how Great-Grandma had always said that we have to get through such events together as a community. Ramsey County Emergency Services volunteers had helped out in the record flooding in St. Paul that spring, so she decided to join them. I always remember seeing her putting on her uniform and heading out, and I knew something bad had happened in the area. But with Mom there to help, I also knew it would eventually be okay. Still, it wasn't until I was older that Great-Grandma's message really sunk in for me.
Hey, this one's got color.
I was out early one morning delivering the Gopher Gazette to help pay for college.
Ew, what's that thing on your face?
What? All the cool kids had mustaches then.
Wow, and then you grew one too.
Very funny. Anyway, I heard a tremendous kaboom the next block over. I could see a ball of fire as I came around the corner and several houses in flames. The firefighters were already arriving, and I knew they would do what they could for the people, but I felt so helpless myself. I heard later that a big underground gas pipeline had exploded, and a mother and daughter were killed as they tried to escape. That's when I started taking my mom's preparedness advice to heart and began my own work to help others be more prepared.
I think I understand now. Disasters can have far-reaching impacts, not only on individuals and families, but on whole communities.
Exactly, and they help us be better prepared in the future. We learn lessons like build more hospitals, or have better safety regulations for pipelines. We also can make better emergency plans because we know what the hazards in our community are. It wouldn't work to make your household plan based on a hurricane because we don't have them here, but we still have plenty of disasters. In the last 48 years, our little county has had 21 disasters big enough to get presidential disaster declarations. That's nearly one major disaster every 2 years.
Golly!
In Ramsey County, floods and severe weather are the most common, but we also have a lot of hazardous materials around us. Wildfires are still possible in some areas of the county, and epidemics are a concern for everyone, just to name some of the hazards. Our plans focus on the most likely threats, but are flexible enough to include other possible hazards too. Learning the lessons of the past makes us a stronger community now and in the future.
Now and in the future. Gee, thanks, Uncle. This was so cool. I can't wait to share my paper with our class.
See? Your uncle can be pretty cool.
That mustache was not cool.
Please visit the following websites for more information. Ramsey County Emergency Management and Homeland Security would like to thank the following for their participation in this episode.